If there's one thing my grandmother ever taught me, it's not to do things in a rush because they won't turn out as planned or as wanted. And that falls no different for this story as well. One time, my mother had asked my brother to pick me and my siblings up from the movies. It was actually one of our first times there. It was at the movie theaters here in the Loop in Methuen. So, if you're not familiar with the little sister, big brother dynamic, typically big brother needs to do some things for little sister that, at mom's request, that big brother usually doesn't want to do. This was one of those moments. So, I'm little sister in this situation. And again, this was a few years ago. My mother forced him to come and pick us up from the movie theaters. It was a late Saturday night, and he already had plans. But of course, as designated by my mother, he still had to come and pick us up. So, of course, he sped to the movie theaters. You could tell by his approach and the way that he arrived, the music blasted, and speeding into the parking lot, that he was not in the mood. As soon as he pulled up, he didn't say one word to us. Me and my friends had to rush into the car while he was clearly unhappy. So as we're all jumping into the car, again, his music blasted. He's not even looking at us, paying any attention whatsoever. We're all getting into the car, and my brother drives away as my last friend is finally getting in the car, not realizing that she still had one foot out. So he drives away, and my friend nearly slams to the ground as he drives. Me and my sister are in the back screaming, and my brother is driving away as we're looking back, watching my friend struggling with all of her items on the ground. We're yelling at the top of our lungs to tell him, turn around, you left our friend, you knocked her down. But because his music is so high and he's in such a rush, he's not listening to us. It's not until we make it about a mile down the street, about to enter the highway, that he realizes that we're yelling his name and that we're not just trying to annoy him. He finally turns the music down and says, what's going on? What's wrong? Why are you bothering me? I'm already picking you up. And of course, we tell him, hey, you left our friend behind and she pretty much was tumbled to the ground by your car as you drove away. He, in shock, of course, had no response and made a quick U-turn, drove right back to the movie theaters. And luckily, there was my friend. She was perfectly fine. But moral of the story is, as Grandma says, don't do things in a rush. They won't turn out as planned, or they won't turn out well. Thank God she was okay. And so were we. But again, moral of the story, don't do things in a rush unless you absolutely have to.